You know, it's one of those questions that probably every dog owner has asked themselves at some point. You watch a mother dog pour her entire being into her litter for weeks, and then, one by one, the puppies head off to their new homes. And you're left looking at her wondering, what is she feeling right now? Well, the answer is a lot more fascinating than you might think. Let's get into it.
So do they? Do they feel that pang of loss, that sense of an empty nest that we, as humans, can't help but imagine they're feeling? This is a question that really gets to the heart of what goes on inside a dog's mind, somewhere between pure animal instinct and what we might call emotion.
And right off the bat, I'll tell you the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's way more interesting than that. It's really a story about the powerful forces of biology, the unique way a dog's memory works, and a bond that doesn't just end, it completely transforms. To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to go right back to the beginning. Back to those first few critical weeks of life, when that bond between a mother and her puppies is about as intense as it gets.
Just imagine what her world is like in those early days. It's this incredible storm of sensory information. Powerful hormones are just surging through her body, hardwiring her to respond to every tiny whimper. Scent is everything. It creates this unbreakable link to each individual puppy. Constant touch, constant sound. It's all confirming for her that her litter is safe. This isn't just a sweet, fuzzy feeling. It is a deep, biological instinct screaming at her to keep her babies alive.
So let's peel back another layer and look at the actual science here. What's really going on inside her brain that forges such a powerful connection? And more importantly, what does it mean for what she remembers later on?
Okay, so a huge piece of this puzzle comes down to one little hormone, oxytocin. You've probably heard of it. It gets called the love hormone or the bonding hormone. Well, for a new mother dog, her system is absolutely flooded with it. It's the biological fuel that drives all those nurturing behaviors we see, the cleaning, the nursing, that fierce protectiveness. It's basically the glue holding that maternal connection together. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. How she remembers her puppies is totally different from how we remember things. We humans, we store these complex, emotional stories, narratives. A dog's memory, it is overwhelmingly driven by scent. She's not sitting there replaying a movie of her time with the puppies. Instead, her brain creates this incredibly detailed scent profile for each one, like a unique fingerprint. And that scent imprint is so powerful, it can trigger recognition years later. This is key.
But here's the thing. That super intense, all-consuming, I'll do anything for you maternal phase, well, it doesn't last forever. In fact, it's not supposed to. Nature has a plan. And that plan involves a huge shift in her job description, from constant nurture to tough love teacher.
And you can see that shift happen so clearly right here. The first 3 weeks or so, it's all about that intense nurturing and protection. But then, right around week 4 or 5, something changes. She starts weaning them. She'll introduce a bit of discipline, a little growl, or she'll just get up and walk away. And by week 6 to 8, she is actively pushing them toward being self-reliant. She's preparing them for the world.
And this is where we, as humans, can really get it wrong. We see her move away from a puppy that's trying to nurse, and we think, oh, she's rejecting him. But what we're actually seeing is a masterclass in canine parenting. She's doing exactly what her instincts tell her to do. She's teaching them survival skills, and that is a perfectly healthy and necessary part of her job.
So what happens next? The puppies have all gone to their new homes, the house is quiet again. How does she adjust? And what happens if they meet again down the road?
Okay, so let's say a mother and one of her grown-up puppies do reunite. How does she even recognize them? Well, it usually happens in a few distinct steps. First, that familiar scent hits her nose. That is the primary trigger that unlocks that old file in her brain. Then, that scent is instantly connected with all the positive associations of those early weeks. And then, you might see it. Those old, familiar social behaviors might just reappear, like a gentle nudge with her muzzle, almost like an echo from the past.
So, as an owner, what's our role in all of this? How can we help her through this big change? Well, the most important thing is to provide stability. Keep her routine consistent. Give her mind something to do with puzzle toys or scent games to redirect her focus. And of course, lots of one-on-one time and play with you helps fill that social void. It's all about giving her structure and reassurance as she transitions back to being, well, just her.
All right, so we've covered a lot. The initial bond, the science of her brain, and what happens when they go their separate ways. So let's circle all the way back to that big question we started with.
Let's get really specific here.
When we ask if they miss them, are we asking if they're pining away, remembering the good old days, and feeling a complex sorrow the way a human mother would?
And this is where you can really see the two forces at play. On one side, you have these purely instinct-driven behaviors. If a puppy goes missing early on, she searches frantically because her biology is screaming survival threat. But on the other side, you see behaviors that feel like something more. Those happy, tail-wagging reunions. A mom who seems to be a little gentler with a more timid puppy. These things hint at a connection that might just go beyond pure automated instinct.
And that really brings us to the most important takeaway here. Maybe, just maybe, we've been asking the wrong question all along. Maybe a mother dog's love isn't measured by how much she misses her puppies after they're gone. Maybe her love is measured by how well she prepares them for the world. Her ultimate success as a mother is defined not just by nurturing and teaching, but by being able to successfully let them go. Her job is to make them independent survivors, and in that, her love is profound, practical, and perfectly canine.